Greetings, fellow Amblinites. Blue Dragon 5 here with a simply sensational and cinematic installment of Disney Debates, Amblin Edition. Tonight's Amblin-filled agenda boasts the following topics: Best Animated Amblin Film, Funniest Animaniacs Short, and Pitch for a new Spielberg attraction. Alright, folks, grab your interplanetary passport, mount your bikes. Don't worry, you don't have to pedal as we soar past the moon and make our journey to the arena. Botanicus awaits. Let's go. In this corner, he loves to say hug bees, and his hats are chocolate coated. Sponsored by Relaxo Vision, it's Tiki!
Hello, nurse.
And in the opposing corner, graduate of Acme University, a force to be reckoned with. Basically, a force to be reckoned with when things get a little toony. Little toony for sure, this guy. It's Jacob Weil!
Good night, everybody.
Of course, my co-judge is joining me in this little three-pronged tribunal. My brother's Warner, as it were.
And unfortunately, no Warner's sister.
Yeah, no Warner's sister. SandyClaws and Monkey.
Hello.
All right, so how we doing tonight, fellas?
I'm feeling frisky, Dragon.
It's a little weird, Tiki, but okay.
Ambling around.
I'd say I feel pretty, but that movie's not out yet.
Right.
Wait, is it not? It must be out yet.
No, it doesn't come out till December.
Oh, dear God. Oh, wow. It feels like forever since that movie got announced. Anyway.
Tiki, missing the ambiance.
What?
Missing the ambiance here.
Your profile on the screen.
Yeah, just...
Oh, my bad. I don't know how he did that. Sorry.
Okay.
It's a great read for another time.
Right. So, a little refresher for the folks who are joining us. Of course, another kind of Disney Debates themed episode, in this case themed towards Amblin. Of course, in honor of Spielberg Month, which we all kind of love to do every June. Here we kind of mixed it up a little bit of like one part Spielberg Month, one part Summerween. But of course, we got to round out Spielberg Month with style, so Amblin Debates. Case in point. Okay, a little refresher of the rules for anyone joining us freshly. Okay, here's what we're doing. So we got three main round questions. Of course, we're going to kind of do things as always here. We're going to go around the table between our two players. They're going to reveal their pick, give their opening statement, basically make their case, and then it's a fight to the bloody finish. My other little associate...
Yeah. It's a duel.
Yes, it is. It's a duel to the bloody finish. Oh my goodness, it's a duel.
Talk about a deep pull.
Yes, nice. Okay, of course, R2 here would be the bell, which means it's time for deliberation amongst the tribunal. The objective, as you guys can probably surmise, first to 5 points wins the whole game. Period. Just once we get into the speed round and everything, by the end of things, whoever has 5 points is going to be a big winner chicken dinner, as it were. Or chicken boo dinner, depending on your preference.
Oh, God.
And into the jaws of defeat.
Yes, yes. Jacob, I can't give you points for the puns. I just want you to know that ahead of time. I can't give you bonus points for puns.
It's brownie points, though.
Oh, sure. But okay. Anyway, so okay. End of the third round, we offer, as we tend to do, the coin.
Ooh.
Folks, the way the coin works is a fully optional feature of our little game. At the end of 3 rounds, I offer it to both competitors. If they choose to flip it, it could either land heads, which means they could get a point. Lands tails, well, not so lucky, they lose a point. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And to bring this back, just see if it catches on, because there's a lot of interest in this. Didn't get us anywhere last time. Maybe this time luck will find us. A little wager option of our little show. So, the wager, I'm going to explain the wager here. So the wager is both of our players can use the wager once they have a point. Once they both have at least 1 point on the board at any time during the entire debate, whether it's main round or speed round, as long as they have 1 point on the board, they can choose to wager their point. Basically, if they win, They get their opponent's point as well as the round point, which means they can win up to 2 points for the round. Once it is invoked, the other opponent has to ante up. There is no like, I don't want to bet it, I don't want to wager. No, you got to wager, buddy. I don't have to tell you. You got to do it. Just make it known before the round starts that you want to wager your point.
Mm-hmm.
That track? You guys good with that?
Yeah.
One question: can I wager a point for a main round, or does it have to be a speed round?
No, it can be a main round as long as you have 1 point on. If you won you have to have 1 point.
That would most likely mean it would have to be on the third round, though.
Yeah, sure.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Anyways, points. Both of you have to have at least 1 point for any of the wagers that even starts. Just bear that in mind. Okay. So, to again, all this to celebrate, and also to celebrate the inventive thinking of, as we tend to do with Spielberg Month, there's going to be some interesting speed round questions. So, stay on your toes, boys. Stay on your toes.
Oh, God.
So, gentlemen, do you understand these rules as I've explained them to you here, to both of you here this fine evening?
I think I got it.
You got it.
All right.
Funny thing, Spielberg's actually from my home state. He was born in Cincinnati.
Huh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The more you know.
Well,
Pretty sure he went to the same
too.
university I did. So
Oh, Jacob, the randomizer is back to having a crush on you, apparently.
Yeah,
Sorry.
they do. You know what the randomizer thinks
Always.
of Jacob? It thinks, hello, nurse.
Ed, always.
All right.
All right. Okay, so before we get started here, again, Amblin Debates is brought to you by Anubis Markets, a division of Osiris
Are we
Food.
going to have a hidden coin? Is that a thing?
There's going to be a coin, but it's not going to be the coin you're thinking of, so keep the coin.
Oh,
Oh, God. Oh, man. You mother effer. All right. Fine.
Oh, you're going to like it, though. Trust me, you're going to like this coin.
Okay, I believe you.
Anyway, so again, before we get started, I just want to also mention our sponsor. Again, Amblin Debates brought to you by Anubis Markets, a division of Osiris Food, Anubis Markets. Food's so good, you can eat it.
unthinkable.
I'm happy to have Claude Coringa on board.
What?
I said happy to have Claude Coringa on board.
Claudia! We love Claudia. Good to have you, buddy.
Okay, this
All right.
All right, so that said, let's get things started. Round number 1.
Oh, boy.
Okay, round numero uno. What is the best animated Amblin film? So everything but Roger Rabbit was for the choosing for this one, folks, including the TV movies, which included Tiny Toons, How I Spent My Summer Vacation, and Wacko's Wish. So everything was on the table. Let's see what these guys picked.
I had The Land Before Time.
And I had An American Tail, Fievel Goes West.
All right. All right, opening statements.
All right. What can be said about The Land Before Time? It's a timeless tale about a young Littlefoot as he experiences a tragedy, but comes through it but goes on an epic journey with 4 smaller dinosaur friends. Basically, it's a timeless tale of growing up, facing adversity, finding friends, and basically learning your place. And it's an epic adventure told. It's a short but sweet tale, and Spielberg's best involvement with Don Bluth, even including stuff that Bluth had no involvement with, but technically with characters he created.
Okay, so The Land Before Time is a really interesting piece, and I have defended the hell out of it for a long time, and I still love it. I really do. But I'm going to make an argument here that Fievel Goes West is the definitive Spielberg collaboration in animation. Fievel Goes West is like, to say Fievel Goes West is like the Rescuers Down Under of Spielberg's catalog is like not even giving it enough credit. Because I truly think that this is a sequel that goes above and beyond what an already just freaking awesome classic movie does. While An American Tail, it pulled on the heartstrings, it was a little repetitive in spots. It was just like, oh my God, are they going to miss the family? Or, it was a very episodic movie. Fievel Goes West. Oh man. I mean, Fievel Goes West, not only does it have way better animation than the original, which is rare for a Don Bluth sequel, but it's got just an insanely high energy plot and concept, and the plot is ridiculous in nature. I won't deny that, but it's played for a lot of laughs and fun. Of course, you have Jim Stewart's last on-screen role as the sheriff dog, so McBurp. So that's a big sort of landmark thing right there for Fievel Goes West. Jimmy Stewart literally gets to ride out into the sunset at the end of this movie, which is just great. All in all, I just feel like this movie takes what works from the original and just amplifies it, and it's just incredibly high energy. The animation is vibrant, the jokes are coming fast and furious, and it's just an awesome modern day Western.
Okay, boys, now I want you to get mean in this room. I want you to look him in the eyes. I want you to call the other guy, a weenie until he begs, "Don't say the weenie word." Fight it. Duel.
Oh God.
I loved The Land Before Time when I was 6.
And I've never liked Fievel Goes West.
I still love The Land Before Time, but I appreciate that it is much more of a children's focused movie. Whereas Fievel Goes West, I feel like it has appeal outside of just being a children's movie. I feel like kids maybe don't even get it as much as adults would because of the Jimmy Stewart of it all, because it's a Western, because it's got such a Looney Tunes air to it. I really don't think that kids would get it. But I feel like this is a movie that's way more rewatchable than The Land Before Time.
A rewatch.
That
doesn't necessarily mean it's better though. Sure, Land Before Time isn't always the watch me, but it has like qualities beyond all that. It's like it's a story that transcends both adults and both kids and adults. Something for everyone to enjoy. It's short but sweet, and sure the animation isn't as good as Fievel Goes West, but really that's the only thing Fievel Goes West has going for it is the improved animation.
The improved animation, the pacing. I would argue the characters in Fievel Goes West are a lot more likable. The Land Before Time, like I said, it's hard to argue against, but I do think it's a movie of inherent flaws. It's a movie where its pace is slow and methodic, and I feel like that's almost to a fault, in spite of it being like barely over 60 minutes. I feel like Fievel Goes West at around 80 minutes feels a lot shorter in a good way than Land Before Time. Because Land Before Time really is just kind of a lot of going around in circles and just like, oh, we need to get to the Great Valley and, like casual dinosaur racism and then getting back together. And might I just say, I'm just going to say it, the designs in The Land Before Time are ugly. Like all the dinosaurs are all wrinkly, and you should not have wrinkles on baby dinosaurs.
Well, that's actually kind of accurate, especially considering the time it was made.
I don't care if it's accurate, though. Animation is animation, and you can do whatever you want.
If you're talking about like the questionable design choices, talk about the Indians in Fievel Goes West.
Can we not?
No, I mean if you're bringing up wrinkly dinosaurs, I can bring up caricatured Indians.
All right, fair enough. That's a fair argument. I'll take that one. I'll take that bullet. But Land Before Time, to me, looking back on it, truly, it's a beautiful movie about a whole lot of nothing, really. It's just going from point A to point B. Fievel Goes West is full of energy. It's got plots up the wazoo. It's got a great villain.
Yeah, and none of those plots are barely ever resolved. I mean, basically, it jumps from one. It can't even really decide what it wants to be. It's like things happen. Oh, something happened. Something else happened. Something else happened. Like it's not exactly. It's basically just like a bunch of just concepts and stitched together like a Frankenstein of a Western.
Yeah, but I feel like that's what gives it its charm, though. I feel like if it was like a traditional plot, I feel like The Land Before Time is a little bit too formulaic. Because, like it or not, The Land Before Time almost kind of invented the formula of a journey movie. And yeah, I'll admit that all the other movies kind of ripped it off, but still, it is a journey movie. It's just kind of like, all right, like we're going to go to this destination and then we're going to go to this destination.
Yes, and due to the fact that it's actually seen from children, which really isn't that much, and especially something as a terrain as unfamiliar as dinosaurs, it actually elevates the stakes.
All right, you want to elevate the stakes of the debate, Jacob? Sarah is a little racist asshole in this movie, and she is completely unlikable. She's far more unlikable than any of the characters in Five Goes West. And to me,
How is she a racist ass?
oh, don't get me started on how she's three horns, never play with long necks. Come on.
Well,
come on.
Of course she grows out of that, and
I know she grows out of it, and I know that's her arc, but she's still a bully, and she's still unlikable.
What about her friendship with everyone else? I mean, that doesn't
He's
really
in the mud for like 90% of the movie. If you actually watch the movie, it's all the other. There's like one moment of like one obligatory, like, okay, I guess we have to humanize Sarah. So come on, Sarah, come climb into the hole with the rest of us while we sleep. And that's like the one humanizing moment she ever has in the whole film.
There's a lot more to her than that. It's clear she's not really that much of an asshole if you think about it.
I've always thought, even as a kid, even when I defended the hell out of this movie, I've always thought Sarah's an asshole. Sarah being an asshole is like one of the big running jokes of the entire Land Before Time franchise. You cannot just sit here and say that Sarah is not an asshole.
She's more of a not necessarily an asshole per se, but like I said, the later
I don't want to say the B word, Jacob. I don't want to say the B word.
The later movies really toned her up quite a bit.
We're not talking about the later movies. We're talking about the original movie.
You're the one who brought them up.
No, I know, but I'm just saying with the original movie, she is really unlikable.
Yeah, but I don't think she's unlikable for that long. She's kind of one of those lovable bully archetypes, and let's just face it, pretty much all the characters in Five Goes West, if they're not caricatured, they're kind of annoying stereotypes.
Okay, well, I'll give you the Indians, but I feel like all the other characters in Five Goes West are really, really dynamic. You've got the villain and his spider sidekick, which both of those guys just kind of leap off the screen. Tiger is back and better than ever. I feel like he's way more dynamic as a sidekick than he was in the original American Tale. Fievel, of course, is energetic and lovable and mascot worthy as he ever was. And then, of course, you have McBurp, who's just, like I said, it's the last on-screen role of Jimmy Stewart.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Right out of the gate.
Monkey, what are you voting for?
Well, it's sort of interesting dilemmas. Like, I agree with Jacob's position, but I feel Tiki may have been the better arguer in this round. So, is there a typical protocol on which to lean in such a case? Which way a judge should lean?
Well, I mean, well, yeah, I don't think you should say that right now, Tiki. You're going to make the call on that in a moment.
I'm just saying that is our protocol.
I know. I was about to say the protocol. Now it looks like an impropriety. Thanks.
Well, I didn't hear him say it, so
Anyway, the point. Well, okay, Monkey. Yeah, we kind of judge by the arguments around these parts. Yeah.
Can I pass and come back to it later, like after you two?
Sandy.
Like,
well, I think both of you guys made pretty good arguments. I think you guys had some pretty good.
You guys are eventually going to have to take sides here. Come on, we won't be offended. We're both men.
Yeah, it's not about not.
How many days are you going to stay together?
Just trying to decide who really deserves the point. I think I was sensing a lot of passion coming from Tiki. I think it's obviously something he truly believes, and I think he was making his points very clear, very precise. And I think he had some good some points. So I'm going to give it to Tiki.
Okay. Monkey.
well, yeah, I guess I will go with. I guess I'll give mine to Tiki because I feel he did argue his better.
All right.
And for what it's worth, I was feeling simpatico as well to give him Tiki the point anyway. So point being, Tiki's got a clean sweep first round. Good for him. Okay.
Sandy, you want to know my truth, buddy?
Sure.
My truth is that I love the hell out of Land Before Time, and it's like my favorite non-Disney animated movie.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. That's the power of debate for you.
Okay. All right. Well, you don't give all your secrets away because now I'm aware of that.
That's how Tiki avoids hate mail, kids. Okay. So.
Well, I stood my ground.
No, Jake. Seriously, you made your points, but
it was a very solid first round for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Jake, you didn't back down. Just Tiki just had you like just a little over. That's all. I mean, but again, seriously, very even footing though.
I mean, I'm proud of my caricatures comment.
Yeah.
I was just saying, technically, there's only one Don Bluth sequel, Bartok. That's the only one he was involved in, but that's just me being pedantic.
Anyway, so
technically, Five Goes West is the only one. Is the only one that could probably be considered good, though.
All right, we do have a Atomic Beast who's on Jacob's side. Land Before Time is better because it is a realistic child drama. Atomic Beast, even though I fought for Five Goes West, I will agree with you. Land Before Time is the better movie. A debate is a debate.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you gotta go with your head and not with your heart.
I mean,
well said, Matthew McConaughey. All right, let's move on. So,
all right.
So, round two. Let's see. So Spielberg revolutionized animation, not just in part with Roger Rabbit, but but resulting in some of the most iconic Amblin animated series. Some of those iconic series. That brings us, of course, the main most iconic one being Animaniacs. Here's an Animaniacs question for the folks. What is the funniest Animaniacs short and/or segment? So we're looking for a part of an episode here, not a full encompassing episode. Can be a bit of. I want to hear a bit of a recap in your opening statements, guys. By the way, I want you to kind of like summarize with folks who, on some off chance, may have forgotten about it or may not have.
Wait, is it funniest or best?
Funniest.
Wording is best. Funniest,
What?
Dragon?
You should have.
I mean, I'm fine with either.
Yeah, me too. I'm just
Okay, just go with funniest. Just go with funniest. Anyway.
All right, should we do our picks or do you done explain?
Yeah, let's see who's got it though. Who has what?
I have chairman of the board, B-O-R-E-D.
And I have Bumpy's mom. Yeah, I have Bumpy's mom.
All right.
Opening statement, Jacob.
Oh, I thought I was waiting for Dragon to give the confirmation.
Oh yeah, the opening statement. Jason, you're going to recap it a little bit in your openings.
Verbal confirmation, Dragon.
We already got the verbal confirmation. Okay, go on.
Okay, chairman of the board is an interesting segment of the show in which if we're all familiar with, we all know the concept of basically the Warner Brothers and sister basically causing mayhem and aggravating other people. Usually, most of the time because they deserve it. But we all know that is described in the theme song. The very catchy theme song, by the way. But this is an interesting inversion of the formula in which, in this case, they're the ones being tormented. In this case, it's by someone, they're total complete opposite, by someone who's almost completely boring. Someone who's, if I'm mistaken, and almost sounds like Ben Stein voiced him, which is perfect for that.
It is Ben Stein.
Voiced by, I forget his full name, but I do. He voices a character named Pip. Basically, when Wacko first meets him, he basically makes the mistake of actually talking to him and goes on this long rambling rant that pretty much continues for the rest of the episode. Basically managing to be one of the few times the Warners themselves are driven nuts. Basically due to the fact that it's an inversion of formula, finding humor in being boring, and basically seeing the Warners themselves basically get bored to tears and it reminds me of the classic droopy cartoon Northwest Hounded Police, in which case no matter where they go, and no matter how far they get away from him, he's always right there next to them still telling his story. So, like, I've got more laughs out of this one watching a couple times than I have a lot of the other shorts. I think this is like definitely an epitome of their humor by finding a way to invert it while still basically touching upon all their cultural humor and all the touchstones of the characters, and a new character that somehow, despite being boring, is still managed to be freaking hilarious.
Well said, Jacob.
Thank you.
All right, that's a solid opening argument. I've got my work cut out for me. So Bumby's mom, I mean, oh my God, is it a meme or is it a meme? But yes, it is a meme, but it is also just a damn well-constructed short. And I was actually surprised how deep the short ran when I was rewatching it. Because, of course, the thing that everyone remembers is just the actual traumatization of Skippy itself. You know, just the whole in-theater experience. Just like, Bumby's mom, she's... And we've got a lot of memorable moments with Slappy, including like, hey, you say one thing and I'll shove acorns up your nose.
It was dynamite down your pants.
Thank you. Dynamite down your pants. Thank you, Jacob.
You're welcome.
But then the sketch kind of goes in an interesting direction with, meeting the actress who played Bumby's mom. And that's where I think the episode really Bumby's meme. Thank you, Rob. That's where the episode really shines, I think, because in displaying Bumby's mom as an actress, it really kind of gets to the heart of Animaniacs, which is the fact that this is all just like one big cartoon world where the cartoons are actors. So, this episode kind of fires on all cylinders because you have Slappy just having, her hilarious reactions to Skippy, but at the same time, she's being such a good caregiver to Skippy too. It's like it is for therapy bills, but she genuinely cares about this kid and cares for his well-being and doesn't want to see him traumatized. So I think from the inciting incident, by the way, let's face it, the actual parody of Bambi itself is hilarious. To, we get the Roadrunner cameo. We get an insight into Hollywood culture with the actress who plays Bambi. I love the moment where, who plays Bumby's mom, I should say. I love the moment where the actress just kind of transforms into Bumby's mom, kind of in a real fashion. Like, yes, Bambi, you have to be wary of all things in the forest. And then, of course, that old yellow ending is just absolutely classic. So, yeah, Bumby's mom, I just think it fires on all cylinders. It's a commentary on childhood trauma in innocent places. And it's also a commentary on, just Hollywood as a whole. And I just think it's truly one of the best things that Animaniacs has ever done in terms of just sharp writing and animation and timing and jokes and all that jazz. I love it.
All right, Jacob, it's your job to kill Bumby's mom, and Tiki, it's your job right here to kill Ben Stein. So let's have that.
Okay, Ben Stein is one joke ran over 10 minutes. All right, it's literally a single joke.
And all your joke is
Incorrect, sir. I knew you would go there. But that's incorrect. My sketch is a commentary on Hollywood culture, and it's a commentary on how Hollywood, while being sweet and innocent and sugary, can also scare the shit out of kids, and how the actors who play these sorts of roles just kind of have a humble feeling for the whole thing. And I love how it's so well intricated. It's got a great setup and payoff. I won't deny that there's a little bit of repetition in Skippy's trauma. Sure, there is.
I never laughed once throughout. Skippy just always more annoying in this short than he was in other ones. This isn't even the funniest Slappy short, if you ask me. Like, kicking the can and all those other ones, those are much funnier than this one.
But like I said, I just think that the Ben Stein one is just the same joke hammered over and over again. And yeah, it's kind of funny that Ben Stein's going on this incredibly boring monologue, and I'm sure it was really fun for him to record and everything. But to me, it just wears out its welcome when I was watching it. I was genuinely like, okay, I get where this sketch is going. They can't avoid him. Like, I get it. I get the comedic beats they're going for. And it is amusing. but I'm not like laughing like ha ha funny at it. I don't think it's like the funniest thing in the world. I think Skippy's continued childhood trauma, in spite of him meeting the actual Bumby's mom herself, is hilarious and is genuinely like a really well written punchline.
The thing is, like, that, if you ask me, the Skippy and that one always came across as more grating than anything else. It's like talking about a joke that's pretty much just run into the ground. Basically, the only funny part was the Warner cameo, and even Slappy was like, that was pointless.
But I feel like the Warner cameo and the Roadrunner cameo kind of are great examples of how the Animaniacs can, take these crossovers of different mediums and, have classic Looney Tunes mixed with their new characters, mixed with the host characters. And I think that is a good, indication of what Animaniacs can accomplish.
They can accomplish annoying kids.
It can accomplish a commentary on how, I've already said this, so I won't repeat myself. But
basically, if you're talking about commentary here, it's probably not as deep as childhood trauma, but it's still a commentary of, like, you don't know that one person who just won't stop talking. Like, basically, that's happened a lot. Basically, pretty much a lot. As they've been pointed out, a lot of these segments are like relatable in real life or based on real life experience. I've actually experienced people like this, like Ben Stein's character, where they just won't stop talking. No matter, like, you try and get away from them, they won't stop talking. And then the torment these characters go through, just all the more hilarious and definitely a lot funnier than Bumby's mom is dead.
Two things. Number one, as someone who does have a tendency to ramble, I honestly feel rather attacked by Chairman of the Board.
If you haven't noticed, I ramble too, but it's called, I have a thing called self-depreciation.
All right, fair enough.
And I'm willing to admit that, yeah, as you can tell, I ramble a lot. So even then, I know how annoying it can be to other people. So seeing them in their shoes is actually quite funny to me. Like, I've been all the Skippy short is remind me of all the times, like, I've been in a movie theater or on a plane where a baby won't shut up.
All right. Well, to me, Jacob, I find it much more relatable to be traumatized by something that's actually not traumatizing at all. # look a peach, anyone? Huh? Little pandering there.
I understood that reference.
Right. But so for that reason, I just find Bumby's mom to be infinitely more relatable. We've all been traumatized by, if not Bambi's mom, then Mufasa, or hell, dare I say it, even Littlefoot's mom, which, by the way, Jacob, I'm surprised you didn't use as a defensive lane before time.
I did.
But,
I don't remember that.
Dragon, just call it.
I just love how that's right, dude.
I genuinely don't remember him mentioning the mother's death because I was ready to defend it. All right, Jacob.
Okay, well, look, I think we got enough to go on here. Sandy.
Monkey, why don't you go first?
Oh, come on.
Okay,
No,
I
be a man.
actually have an answer this
Don't
time.
play. No, hey, I'll give them.
Well, to be fair, Monkey did that last time.
To quote Spider-Man, everybody gets one.
Oh, fine. Just continue.
That means you
Okay.
can pass it on to someone else next time, Dragon.
Okay, first off, Bumby's mom is dead. Spoiler alert! Gosh,
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Jacob on this one.
Good.
I was kind of thinking the same thing. Yeah, I think Jacob's was I don't know. I just had a little more pizzazz to it.
All right.
Just saying, as far as crying at the name of someone who's with a name that starts with a B, I think I'll stick with Rugrats Passover. Boris!
Technically, I never even mentioned the ending of my short, which also kind of. Never mind.
Dragon, is that the way you were leaning, I assume?
Honestly, yes. I'm kind of flabbergasted by it. Yeah.
Jacob, I think you fought that very well from your opening statement. I was a little bit on the defensive.
Oh, thank you.
All right. So again, guys.
I mean, I kind of didn't want to like invoke the children shutting up thing, but I kind of had to.
Dragon, I am going to go ahead and put in the wager here. You want to do it? I'm going to do it.
Okay. All right. So you both have a point on the board, which means wager time. Okay.
Okay, so that means
Let's see how this pans out.
Okay, so we're going to round 3. Now, round 3, of course, you know what, guys? Spielberg doesn't have enough. We don't have enough Amblin-based attractions in the world, if you ask me. You know, we've seen some great ones. Let's throw a few more great ones out there in the world, at least theoretically, at this point in time. So here's the third round question for you. I want to hear a pitch for a new Spielberg film-based attraction. So what I mean by this, folks, is they can't pitch a new version of E.T. or Indiana Jones or Jurassic Park or Jaws. Those 4 off the table. Training wheels are gone. They're a myth.
Yes.
because everybody wants to see Schindler's List, the ride.
Oh God, let's not even joke about that.
Yeah,
They could put it in Epcot at the Germany Pavilion.
No.
Sorry, that was in Portugal.
We can't. Sorry.
I mean, all the
Listen.
Oscar Schindler. I don't think you can really sell into a ride. I don't think.
Sorry, that was.
For the record,
Anyway.
I am Jewish.
Okay, Ray finds a side. Let's refocus here. Okay, so who has what?
I have Ready Player One.
All right, Ready Player One.
And I have Minority Report, and I actually have a title for my attraction. My attraction is going to be called Minority Report, Everybody Runs.
So you're still sticking with that, eh? Okay, okay.
Well, wow, imaginative.
Fuck you.
I'm not knocking. I just want to be sure it's your real working title, and you went with
Everybody
it.
Runs, Dragon.
I know. I'm aware of this fact. Okay. So,
And
Jacob.
And I have a title for mine too.
Okay, what's your title?
Oasis Quest.
There we go. All right, run with
Wait,
that.
is it Ready Player One, Oasis Quest, or just Oasis Quest?
Yes, it's Ready Player One Oasis Quest.
Okay.
I mean, it really doesn't. I mean, I guess you kind of have to tie it into it.
It matters. It matters.
All right. Anyway, Jacob, what's your opening statement?
I feel Ready Player One already really lends itself to being an interesting ride adaptation. My vision for an attraction based on that. I mean, it's basically with the advent of virtual technology, which pretty much is at the advent of Ready Player One. Basically, its entire story built around it. Basically, that's how you envision the ride, and how I envisioned the ride was basically a cross between Flight of Passage and Midway Mania. The immersive, I mean, basically, because Flight of Passage basically feels like a ride, even though it's stationary, and Midway Mania has all the game, has like a game. Basically, that's how I'm imagining Oasis Quest. Oasis Quest takes you into the Oasis. And as you're zooming around all this fantastical virtual world, basically feel everything. Basically, you can feel and see everything that's going on inside you, around you. And all the while, you're basically playing against a couple of your friends or a group, basically to win the keys to the Oasis. And of course, there's going to be Easter eggs galore. There's going to be variations of the ride, so no single experience will ever be the same. It's going to be Flight of Passage, Midway Mania, up to the max.
Okay, Tiki. Wow.
Okay, so my attraction is going to be a combination of Space Mountain, Test Track, and Indiana Jones Adventure. It's going to have the thrills of Space Mountain. It's going to have the thematic immersion of Indiana Jones Adventure, and it's going to have the basic theme of Test Track. So essentially, with Minority Report, Everybody Runs, the whole idea is that you are in a pre-crime training exercise. And guests can either play the role of the convict or the police officer who's set to convict the convict of the pre-crime. So essentially what this is essentially a big chase ride where you have two ride vehicles kind of going against each other, chasing each other through the whole ride. And with the ride, you get to experience set pieces such as the precog room, such as the giant freeway, which is, of course, going to be a really elaborate set piece that blends screens with physical cars and physical props. You're going to have just a lot of really cool action and really cool energy and really cool beats to it. And just generally speaking, with Minority Report, I think that it's a very thought-provoking IP. And I think that putting the characters and the players in the role of authority versus pre-crime versus the convicts who may or may not have done the crimes is essentially a really cool way to A, have a thrilling chase ride, and B, kind of tie it to some really interesting themes and political ideas that we have going on right now. So I think it'd be a very socially relevant attraction to come out. And I think Minority Report is a Spielberg movie that has developed a classic status, unlike Ready Player One, but we'll talk about that. So yeah, I think that Minority Report is a great example of an IP that has a ton of world building behind it, an interesting idea, a catchphrase and a tagline that just kind of lends itself to a high-speed, thrilling chase attraction. You know, of course, you're going to have encounters with spiders. How could I not mention that? Spiders are, just imagine just fully realized AA spiders just kind of going for you. I mean, it's going to be a hell of a time.
Okay. All right, guys. Fight it out.
Is the colon? Do you have to say the colon in your name?
Yes.
All right. So, okay.
The proctologist battle begin. Let's go with this colon. Okay.
Ready Player One is a very, very problematic IP for a number of reasons. Number one, it kind of sucks. I'm not going to lie. The book sucks. The book is really problematic. The book is frankly flat out sexist, and I don't think the movie does a lot of things to change that. And the movie and the IP in general is just a hodgepodge of different IP. That may work cool for a book or a movie. I don't think it works for a theme park attraction. I think a theme park attraction needs its own identity, and I think Ready Player One just being a hodgepodge of different Easter eggs, that's like the antithesis of what I want from a real attraction. And not to mention, just like kind of the screen-based versus physical, Minority Report has a whole ton of physical set pieces, and I know that you can have a screen-based ride. Flight of Passage is awesome and all that. And it makes sense that the Oasis would be a motion simulator. But I just think the idea, like, we've never seen a fully immersive thrill ride that also has a chase element to it. We've come close with stuff like Test Track and stuff like Radiator Springs Racers, but we've never seen something that has a chase throughout the entire attraction. And that's where I think my Minority Report idea shines.
And face it, the sexism and all that kind of point is kind of pointless, considering that's not even the point of what the ride is. So that kind of point falls flat. And not to mention that it's not the first time that a problematic kind of attraction, no matter how good problematic movie, has even been developed into a ride before. So
look what happened with Splash Mountain right now. Splash Mountain, problematic IP being replaced. And just saying.
I mean, that's not really relevant right now, but all
no.
right.
Relevant to your point you just made.
Yeah, but what about
IPs are being replaced? It's just a reality of the situation.
Yeah, but Ready Player One isn't really.
Splash Mountain has next to nothing to do with song of itself, but it's still being replaced, and I think it's being replaced with good reason. And Ready Player One is an incredibly problematic IP. It just is.
It's not. It's really not problematic. Minority Report would just doesn't lend itself to a ride as much as you think it does. Minority Report, yes, it does have some provoking themes, but that would not lend itself to a ride. I mean, you can't replicate those kind of themes inside a ride.
I think more importantly than the themes, Jacob, is the setting. And I think Minority Report has setting in spades. And you can do a ton of different settings with Minority Report. You can have the futuristic city, the highway, the precog offices, the precog chamber, the spiders.
What about all the various IPs? Ready Player One has those in spades. You can use the various locales for that.
I'm not interested in just a hodgepodge of IPs when it comes to an attraction, though. I think that'd make for a boring attraction, frankly.
Quite
Just
frankly,
Ready Player One is kind of a boring movie and a boring idea, if I'm being honest.
well, your idea doesn't really sound thrilling to me either. I mean,
Basically,
basically,
a high-speed chase through highly themed and fully immersive set pieces where you are the one chasing after the other guy and vice versa. That doesn't sound thrilling to you?
not particularly.
How? How does a chase ride? I'm curious how a ride that's literally a giant chase through immersive set pieces wouldn't be thrilling.
Basically, yours sounds like an escape room on wheels.
And that's not awesome. How?
It gets old.
I don't agree. I don't think you're listening to my points. I think I have
Your points. You're not listening to my points either.
I think Minority Report has a ton of really solid set pieces that if you get creative with, you can incorporate into a theme park setting really well with high tech technology.
And what about with Ready Player One? Huh? That just you don't have to follow the exact plot of the movie or the book exactly. You can use anything you want in there. You can like go off the wall crazy with the inventiveness in that.
And that's exactly my problem with Ready Player One. I feel like Ready Player One, there's like so many variables to Ready Player One as an IP it's hard to get an attraction that's actually focused. Whereas with Minority Report, my whole intention is to focus it.
And as I mentioned, there would be different scenarios, or would have rewritability. Like there wouldn't be just like various hodgepodges in one scenario. Like in the movie, it would be segmented. You would be able to write it and experiencing something different every time. It'd be basically a playable arcade game with a group of people, basically creating a social experience, basically having much more fun than anything that would be available in just the one track of Minority Report would have.
Look. I've had as much fun as anyone else in the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, but that is not the end-all, be-all of Imagineering and attractions. And it is really kind of a niche setting. To say that your attraction is basically just going to be a giant arcade game, that's not exactly a selling point to me. Having an attraction be an arcade game is kind of like taking away from what an attraction is meant to do, which is immerse you in a world. If you're focused specifically on a game, I mean, as much as I like Midway Mania is a game. It's, it's a great ride, but it's a game.
But you just talked about immersion and having fun. That's exactly what this attraction would do. Yours is just cops and robbers.
Exactly. Mine is cops and robbers, and I think that'd be great. I think it'd be a really original idea. And keep in mind, it's a training mission, so we don't have to get into the politics of like actual cops and robbers these days. And it'd be future precog stuff, so it'd be really, really heady and thought provoking. Tom motherfucking Cruise. You have Tom Cruise in there to do the safety spiel. There you go. You can't argue with Tom Cruise.
Mark Rylance.
Okay. All right.
I just got random names too.
Okay, I'm leaning towards Jacob on this one. Monkey, what do you got?
I gotta say, despite a reservation or two I have with the thing, and IPs aside, Tiki sounds like the better attraction.
Okay, Monkey's going with Tiki. It all falls on the Sandman here, and I'll remind you, Sandy, this is literally for everything because there's a wagered point here, which means you're taking away from the other guy. So Sandy, who are you liking this round?
No pressure.
No, all the pressure. This is an important decision, Sandy.
Oh, Joe, ruin the sarcasm.
I gotta say, I liked both these ideas. I think they'd make really great rides, both of them. I think Ready Player One has a lot of kind of aesthetic advantage over Minority Report, but I think that it could also be kind of a really tricky situation with all the IPs that they'd have to manage, and then movies and things like that. I think not only would Minority Report be the safer option just because it's a singular item that they don't really have to really think about leasing from other companies or studios. Not only that, but you have Tom Cruise in there, who's kind of a big draw, and it's kind of a dark and gritty and thrilling idea that, like you said, could lend itself really well to the whole chase scenario. So I'm gonna have to go with Minority Report.
Okay, that means Tiki won, and he won the wager, which means currently our boards say that Tiki has 3 points. Jacob got Squidoo.
Oh God! Wow, that's a powerful twist, Dragon. I must say.
Now remember, once
one other choice that I had. The only other choice I would have was the BFG.
Well, hey, you can do something cool with that.
I think Tintin would have been a very solid choice.
Oh yeah.
The only reason I didn't go with Tintin because Tintin was because it's Indiana Jones light.
Meh.
But anyway,
I mean, I anticipated pretty much every argument from.
All right, fair enough. All right.
And basically, all I could come up with BFG was the Land of Giants.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
BFG was not the thing to go for. I can attest to that.
I got to admit, while it would have been in bad taste, I would have been really fascinated if someone could have legitimately sold Schindler's List ride. I would have been really impressed. But never again. I can only posit how that would work. But again, I'd be amazed.
There's no
you
way.
Congratulate the Imagineers on their work after whoever created the ride. You congratulate them after they've made it. Congrats! It's a wonderful ride, and they're like, I could have done more.
Yeah.
Oh God.
That's what I'm saying.
I will go as far as to say definitively on air, Schindler's List is an unadaptable film in the theme park environment. There's no way it can be done.
Well,
they gave it part of a sign in the studio tour queue. That's something.
All right.
Anyway, well, I mean, also War of the Worlds, if you want kind of more of an action-y ride, just to give you another example, something you could have picked.
War of the Worlds is a solid choice. I
saying.
Going back to the studio tour.
That kind of stuff's been done though.
Yeah.
Hey, fair enough. Anyways, point being, picks were made.
I mean, I was really excited by the whole Flight of Passage meets Midway Mania aspect.
Well, I mean, Jake, you had my
Yeah,
vote,
wasn't
buddy.
that like
The odds were
Falcon?
against you.
I was going up against Minority Report. Minority Report's one of Spielberg's best.
Minority Report is definitely one of Spielberg's best in the past 20 years. I think it's one of Spielberg's classics of the past 20 years.
I've only seen some of it when a class wasn't really paying attention. The only thing I remember was the hologram boy saying, not on the lips. Only mommy kisses me on the lips.
Oh, God.
But I guess I could have tried AI.
Oh, no.
I was being sarcastic.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right, moving on.
Call Tony aside.
What about Catch Me If You Can?
There you go. There's a great. Oh, that'd be a
Another
great
potential
one.
chase ride.
Yeah. There you go.
Then that kind of would have been aping yours, though.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, point being, rides were picked. Now we're going to move on to the speed rounds. But before that, though, before that,
The coin.
Before that, folks, we're going to go to the coin. We're going to see if Jake can get that point back, unless he feels not so lucky after that.
Wait, I thought you couldn't flip the coin if you didn't have any points.
No, you can flip it. It's fine.
Yeah, you lose nothing. So you have the opposite. Yeah.
All right, I'll flip.
Technically, you have nothing to lose. Technically.
Okay. All right, I'll flip the coin.
Oh.
Ain't
Dang.
nothing to lose. Don't you feel good about yourself, though?
Not really.
I'm going to skip it just because I want the speed round to last.
All right. Okay,
Yeah,
so
because you'd only have to win 1 point if you got that.
Yeah, exactly.
remember, Jacob. Once you get a point, by all means, or at any point you feel like it, once you get a point, you can do your own wager, and Tiki will have no choice but to ante up. So you can get your own.
If I wager and lose, he'll end up winning.
Oh, that's the risk. Okay. So, speed round, typical way it goes here, 30 seconds, followed by a 15-second rebuttal. I will point out this to our lovely audience. They will be able to suggest some questions as well as call some of the rounds. Ideally, folks, if you could theme the questions to Spielberg or Amblin, it would be great. Just saying. And, we might turn you to call some rounds. Again, there's some surprises in store, so we're going to move on. Oh, speaking of surprises...
God.
So let's start with a bang that encapsulates kind of the Amblin of it all, because Amblin isn't entirely Spielberg; it's usually Spielberg correlated. So let's go to the Wheel of Spielberg.
Wheel of Turn. What's the movie that we should burn?
Precisely. Jacob hit on the exact reason why there is a wheel this debate, by the way, because again, Animaniacs. How can't you? How can you not? Okay. So what we have on the list here.
I don't think you updated the wheel. I still seeing Small Soldiers and Harry on there.
There we go.
All right, progress. Okay, so the way it's going to work, folks, is on the Wheel of Spielg this time, we have a bunch of Amblin-produced films. We're going to spin the wheel. We're going to assign them to our two players here, and they're going to argue what is the best Spielberg-produced film. So let's see. Jacob, you're going first, so you get the spin first.
Okay.
Jacob's got Gremlins.
Ooh, Gremlins, nice.
Ooh, a Cars 2 ride.
Come on, Back to the Future. Come on, Back to the Future. Men in Black? Okay, I can work with that.
All right, take it to MIB.
All right. And is there like some sort of bullshit twist where it's like, oh, you're actually arguing the worst Amblin movie?
Don't you think I would have told you that by now, Tiki?
No.
No, I don't put anything past you at this point, Dragon.
Well, maybe Jacob should start speaking before I change my mind.
Well, I mean, I didn't know it was ready to start yet.
Oh, whenever you're ready, Jacob. But again, I might change my mind. It depends how long it takes. I'm just saying.
I mean, you're the one saying you joke, but
I know you joke, so that's what I'm saying. Like maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm joking. Maybe I'm not right now.
All right.
Gremlins. I mean, what else can you say about Gremlins? Gremlins is a freaking classic when it comes to. I mean, it's uncharacterized. It's not usual Spielberg, but that's what makes it so interesting. I mean, it's a movie that kind of like hints at his involvement in like future, and like his future more zany side, like especially like bringing up like the Animaniacs, tying into adventures. Though it's not animated, it definitely ties into Spielberg's more anarchic side. It's a fun, frenetic movie. But Joe Dante's wit and Spielberg's touch.
I think even to this day, the original Men in Black is the gold standard for PG-13 high concept action comedies. I truly do mean that. I think Men in Black was a game changer. It set the standard, like I said, and I don't think the standard has ever been set. I mean, the mix of the huge amount of world building, the cool tech, the insane chemistry between the lead characters, the cool alien designs, it just absolutely fires on all cylinders.
Oh, God. What Men in Black did for sci-fi, Gremlins did for urban fantasy. It's basically a story of like a man and his boy and his mogwai. It's heart wrenching. It's funny. It's interesting. Pretty much all you could want in a standard action feature.
I feel like Gremlins is more heartfelt than Men in Black. I'll give it that. But I feel like Men in Black is timeless in a way that Gremlins kind of isn't, because Gremlins has a lot of 80s flair to it, whereas Men in Black, yeah, it has some 90s cheese, but it really owns that.
Okay. All right. Monkey, what are your thoughts?
I'm thinking Tiki.
Yeah.
I'm also wondering what the beginning of the queue fake out of a Gremlins ride would be.
Oh, man.
All right. Sans, you got any skin in the game here? You got any leanings? You got any little thoughts?
I'm gonna go with Men in Black too. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, heck, I didn't even fight for it, and I would choose Men in Black.
I too would go with Men in Black. So it is. It's the point goes to Tiki.
Jacob, I'm sorry.
You can have my point on that one. I was like, I knew going into like if you got Men in Black would be like a losing battle for me.
I wanted Back to the Future, but I got Men in Black, and I made it work.
Those two rides used to be next to each other.
Jacob, I will say, if I would have gotten Casper, I would have been screwed.
I mean, heck, anybody who got Casper would have been screwed.
Casper was the whammy. Yeah.
Well, they're more okay. So we're gonna move on here.
What do
You know,
I mean, I would have definitely made a good argument for Poltergeist.
Oh yeah, Poltergeist is arguably the best of the 5. All right.
2 of those were ghost movies.
all right. So if
Spielberg
Tiki gets this next,
Spielberg actually wrote that one.
Yeah. Okay, Dragon. you were saying?
if Tiki gets this next point, he's gonna win. I just want to make sure the stakes are real.
Yeah, I know, and I don't have anything.
All right. Okay. We got a lot of great questions here.
Yeah.
Like, there is one I got to use, otherwise it's going to be useless if we do it any other month. I'm going to just go to this question next. It's a really fun question in regards to Spielberg. We're going to get this one there. Hopefully we'll see how things go. Okay.
Oh,
Okay. Oh boy, let me get it up here.
Why do I have a feeling of dread?
Oh, here we go. Okay, so month of June, not only month of Spielberg, but it's Father's Day as well.
Oh,
So what I'm looking for is the best example of Spielberg daddy issues. So basically, I want.
Oh no!
Warhorse.
Okay, he's going with Warhorse.
I've never seen more horror. Does it have to be the fact that they're dead?
No.
Well, I mean, they don't have to be living. I'm just saying it's like it's an issue between the father and so it's like the most like what I'm looking for here. I want you to establish the Spielberg and his father correlation to the example you're pointing out here. Like what is the fatherly issue between the protagonist and their parent and their father, as is in all the Spielberg movies.
Last Crusade.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Strong contender. Okay, Jacob's got, of course, the Battle of the Dr. Henry Jones
Okay.
boys.
All right. You ready?
Yes.
Last Crusade is literally the joke Spielberg daddy issue movie. All right. It literally makes a joke out of daddy issues. What Warhorse does is it frames it in an incredibly moving and cinematic light. Essentially, we track the father's ribbon thing throughout the whole movie, and then it ends with the son giving the ribbon back to the father, and there's this solemn nod of like, yeah, I understand what you went through. I know why you're a dick. I realized that 30 seconds was not enough time to adequately explain the ending.
Well, now I just want a goose to pass by my window.
You talk about like.
Go ahead.
You talk about it being the joke movie. That's a bad thing. It's like there actually is some drama in that movie, believe it or not. But actually what makes it more interesting, if you ask me. It's like it's not the usual daddy drama. It's actually draws comedy from it as well, and it serves an impetus for the adventure. And definitely a highlight of the indie movies, where it was the relationship between Henry Jones Sr. and Henry Jones Jr. Basically, it's all you could want from and heck, it's Sean Connery. How can you beat that?
I've always personally thought Last Crusade was one of the more overrated indie movies because, it's Sean Connery. Let's all just jump on the Sean Connery love. But I don't know, Warhorse is just so understated and emotional, and that ending just kicks my ass every time. I love it. It makes me cry.
Well, overrated doesn't necessarily mean bad. Overrated doesn't necessarily mean bad. There's a reason why, because it's a very good one. Sean Connery, I mean, how can you not love him? And let's face it, basically, it's an epic adventure and everything, and your movie basically sounds like a glorified version of Thumbs Up from Poppy.
It is. I'm not going to deny that.
All right, I'm just gonna rule now. I'm gonna rule that Jacob gets the point.
Yeah, fair enough. I think the next question should be a Claude question, though.
Okay. So how do you? Okay, let me ask. Monkey, you hang out in the comments many times. I'm gonna let you pick Claude's question here.
Okay.
Now we can pick an Amblin one though.
Like Poppy looking like one of those Warhorse puppets.
Oh God. Those Warhorse puppets are genuinely scary, in my opinion.
Okay. Let's see. How about Okay, I'm kind of torn between two of them. So, you know what? No, okay, got a choice. How about pitch a Roger Rabbit sequel?
Okay. All right, gentlemen, you have your question. Whenever you're, well, I guess we have to figure out who's going to speak first.
This is
Jacob won the last question, so
Yeah.
I can speak first.
All right, fine.
Well, he should have the decision.
Okay, Jacob, who do you want to go first? You won the last round. Your call.
You can speak first, Tiki.
Okay. All right.
So my pitch is basically called Who Watered Down Roger Rabbit, and it's essentially a commentary on the watered down nature of animation in general. And we have all the slapstick violence that we love, but under the guise of like, is it really good? Is it really progressive? And also, we have the infamous CGI versus hand-drawn debate, which we're going to go into in grim detail. Baby Herman is going to throw a temper tantrum over not being turned into triangles. Yes, I'm ripping off Ren when I say that.
By the way, Claudia, you're going to call this one, so pay attention. You're going to decide the rules this one, ideally. So.
All right.
I just need to formulate mine.
Yeah, I kind of had to formulate mine on the spot, so keep that in mind. I had like 10 seconds to think of it.
We'll direct your therapy at Monkey on that one.
Yeah, all right.
Wait, what?
Direct your therapy at Monkey. You pick the question. If you break them, it's on you. Break them, you bought them.
Well phrased.
Basically, where the first movie could basically be seen as almost a deconstruction on like how cartoon antics can affect the real world. Well, and basically how human characters would interact in the real world, in that cartoon world. Basically, what would be interesting to see is like if more of that in the opposite way, like how would these cartoon characters interact with more of the real world beyond what we see of Judge Doom. How would they accept upon their society encroaching upon them?
So I honestly think there's a really, really poignant and like genuinely topical message to get out there of dated hand-drawn characters in a modern day environment and grasping with their connotations. I genuinely think there's something there.
If we're going down the social commentary route, basically, what about like the live action characters, narrators encroaching upon the society of the toons? Basically, toons could be dying out, basically being wiped out from all this.
Pretty much my pitch.
All right, Claudia.
Claudia,
it's in your hands. Just pick between Tiki and Jacob which pitch you like best. We're going to give them a minute to deliberate and hopefully give us a ruling. Otherwise, we're going to have to.
I'm going to refresh my drink. Dragon, if I'm not back by the time Claude gives a ruling, go ahead and give a promo or something. I'll be back in 1 minute.
Right.
Thank you, one.
Oh, dumb. God. Thank you. Okay.
Poppy.
So when you said the puppet of Poppy, you're thinking like actually Krunk's dad, Poppy, right? I just want to make sure you did. Okay, just want to be clear. Okay.
I'm still proud of that jab, though.
That is, that was a good jab too.
Even if I lose, I can say I won based on that comment.
Yep, again, a reminder, folks, if Tiki gets this point, he wins.
It'd basically be our shortest debate ever.
Pretty much, yeah. It actually would be a record. So, Sandy, how you been?
Yeah, I've been pretty. I've been pretty okay. I've been working full time at the zoo. That's really nice.
Okay.
A friend of mine, her mother passed away. That's really sad. And then Splash Mountain was pretty hard-hitting news today. Other than that, I'm doing pretty well.
How are you? How are you?
I'm on the right side of the dirt. You know, I can't. Okay, we have a
Oh,
ruling.
we have
Here
a
we
ruling.
go. Here
Okay,
we go.
I'm back.
Okay. Yes.
Oh.
Okay. So Claudia rules in Jacob's favor.
Oh.
Which means Jacob gets the point. He's still in the game, folks.
Oh.
Fair enough.
Jacob's got 2 points. He's catching up. And if he wants to, he can wager.
I'm not gonna wager.
I know you're not going to wager. Anyway, so
It's more.
calling you out,
It's
though.
not coward. It's strategy.
Yeah, he's waiting. He's waiting for his moment.
Fair enough.
Right. So
I felt genuinely confident about that Minority Report ride. That's why I wagered.
Okay, I'm gonna. Okay, look. All right, Monkey. I'm gonna have you pick between these 2 questions. I got an anniversary question. I got a coin question.
Dragon, I genuinely think we should do a Splash Mountain question.
Come on, no, we're not. It's not. It's not.
It's
Amblin.
tempting, but I'm agreeing with Dragon.
I mean, I'm saying it's timely, man. If we're gonna talk about it, now is the time.
Yeah, but it's not Amblin.
Yes, it's not Amblin.
All right, fine. No Splash Mountain. Everyone wants to talk about Splash Mountain.
Wait, what if
I'm going-
we theme Splash Mountain to an Amblin movie?
All right. Anyways, enough of the Splash Mountain.
Anyway, so what are you thinking, Monkey? An anniversary question or the coin question?
Coin?
Yes.
Okay,
That's what I was hoping.
coin it
love
is.
Ability.
All right. So again, in the vein of Spielberg month, and also in part because of Toy Story 3's 10th anniversary, I call this little experimental round. I call this Battle of the Toms.
Oh God. Oh God.
So what we're gonna do is we're going to flip the coin. If it lands on heads, you get Hanks. Lands on tails, it's Tom Cruise. Call it the Cruise coin if you want to balance things out however you want to do it.
Okay.
Anyway, the point being,
Oh,
now Jacob, you're going to be able to. The coin flip is going to be yours, buddy boy. Okay, so whatever. Again, heads for Hanks, tails for Tom Cruise. So we're going to basically have to pick between the films that they've been in Spielberg's catalog. Pick between any of those films. It's 3 films for Hanks.
Wait.
2 films for-
Does it have to be Spielberg catalog?
Yeah, it's got to be Spielberg catalog.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
Hanks,
what I said.
I know Hanks was in. He was obviously in Catch Me If You Can and
Mhm.
Bridge of Spies. But what was the other one?
Saving Private Ryan.
Oh right.
And the Terminal.
What about Cruise?
And the Terminal. Yeah, there's 4 Hanks.
Yeah. What about Cruise? Cruise was in Minority Report, War of the Worlds.
That's it.
Oh,
All right.
I feel like Hanks is kind of an advantage, but
Well, we'll see.
Be there.
Dragon, are you sure you don't want to make it overall career?
Would you like to make it overall
I'd
career?
like to make it overall career just because I feel like Hanks has like more of the pedigree over Cruise, but Cruise has like more of the stunt work over Hanks. So I feel like that's a more fair debate.
You telling
I'm
me
just
Woody
saying.
didn't do his own stunts in Toy Story 3?
I'm just saying Tom Cruise is legitimately like, a fucking badass when it comes to stunts. And if we can't recognize him for that, then
All right, fine. We'll open it up. So it's all on the table.
all right. I
But let's
appreciate it.
okay. But in live action, okay, we can't go to Toy Story. Okay, we
All right,
can't
fine,
mix it.
fine. I'm totally cool with that because Tom Hanks, as far as I know, or Tom Cruise, as far as I know, has never done a voice for an animated film.
Anyway, okay, so let's flip.
I wonder what kind of voice role he would do for that, though.
I'm going to Google to see if he has done one.
I really don't think he has, Rob. I really don't think so.
I'm just wondering what kind of role he would have.
Let's flip our lids here. What do you say?
All right. So heads for Hanks, tails for Cruise.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
yes.
Yeah, Jacob's got Tom Hanks.
I wanted Cruise. All
I
right.
gathered that. Jacob, you got to pick. Okay, Jacob, what are you thinking for Hanks?
I'm preparing.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go on. Take it down.
Also waiting for the mouse to be over by the starting button.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta establish what Tiki wants too, but yeah.
Well, I mean, I want Cruz.
I know you get. I mean, the movie for Cruz.
Wait. Movie for Cruz? What?
Yeah.
Does
Yes,
it
you
say
have to.
one movie?
Okay. Sorry. Let me see.
Wait, I thought it was like the
Okay. Best performance from the actors. Best performance from the actors from a movie.
The latest Mission Impossible.
Okay.
The Green Mile.
Okay.
All right.
All right, boys. Remember, there can only be one. Go nuts.
The Green Mile is basically a movie to end all movies. It's basically one of Tom Hanks's career-defining movies. As the prison guard in there, as one of the prison guards, and basically delivers a fantastic subdued performance aside Michael Clark Duncan, who is also at the top of his game in that movie. Basically, this is a career best for Tom Hanks for bringing so much emotion, but also being so understated, but basically in a situation that he's given.
Okay. You know that phrase "last action hero"? Remember that movie? Well, Mission Impossible Fallout basically proves that Thomas Hanks is the last action hero. The badassery that Tom Hanks had to go through to not only perform those stunts, those amazing stunts that he did by hand, but also to provide a compelling character with a compelling arc, an almost biblical arc in that movie, staggering.
Tiki, you were saying Hanks.
Yeah, you said Hanks throughout the whole thing.
I was gonna.
Okay, guys, I'm drunk. I'm sorry. Can you please give me a pass?
I wanted to bring that up in my open.
Well, you still can, but we just had to call out for the record, I guess, just to make sure he's somewhat sober, I guess. Okay.
Now that you guys brought it up, it wouldn't be much point in me bringing it up now.
Okay, you know what? It can count against me. It's fine. It's fine.
No, I'm just saying. I guess I'm not going to use it, but all right, move it. I'm going to overstay now.
And we know what you meant.
This is comparing apples and oranges, really. Especially even in that movie. I don't think Tom Cruise's acting really isn't as bad. Sure, his stunts are, but his acting really isn't that up to par in that movie. Tom Hanks' acting is superb throughout every single thing he's in, and this is no exception. There's no exception here with Frank Darabont's direction.
I think Tom Hanks is Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is put through the ringer in Mission Impossible Fallout, not just physically, but also mentally, dealing with a double agent, dealing with a whole bunch of deaths. It is a genuinely powerful performance on top of the stunts.
We'll let Sands decide this one.
I'm guessing Sandy has seen neither movie.
Dragon, I think it's better if you don't let me decide this one.
There you go.
Well, so much for an element of chance. All right.
I have not watched The Green Mile.
All right, fine. Okay. I don't think the audience, unless the audience like to make a ruling, I guess I'll make the ruling then. Okay. Well, I know Jacob was leaning into kind of the career definition of the role and kind of the legacy. He was really kind of diving into the performance there. But Tika was rounding out kind of the physical toll in the actors. So it's close in differing ways. Obviously, it's
For God's sakes, just give Jacob the point.
I've got a ruling.
I'm having too much fun.
All right, fine. Tiki wants to give it to Jacob. We're gonna give it to Jacob. It's close anyway. It's 3 to 4.
Oh, 3 to 4. You're right.
Yeah, if it's 5, you would have won, Drunky. Okay, so
You're right.
Speaking of Drunky, let's go to this movie.
I would have voted for you.
Oh, thank you, Rob.
All right. So, in honor of of Jaws' 45th anniversary this month, what is the best scene in Jaws?
I still can't believe how old that movie is.
Oh, the definitely the monologue about the shark attack.
Okay, Tiki's got the Indianapolis.
Is that where they're all talking on the below deck?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it's when the whole like doll's eyes thing. That's what
Yeah.
he's got.
No question for me.
Uh,
A lot of gold to sift through, my friend.
yeah, I know that's the tough part.
Yeah.
Bruce's first attack on Amity Beach.
Wait, do you mean the opening scene?
That's the question. Do you mean the lead, or do you mean the
Basically the beach scene, not the opening swimming at night scene.
Yeah,
where
sure.
The one where it attacks I said what I meant to say was like where the beach where it attacks the beachgoers basically.
Yes.
Okay, I got you. All right.
The one with the one with the Hitchcock zoom.
Mm-hmm.
The Indianapolis scene is one of the most famous monologues in all of film history for good goddamn reason. It's a chilling metaphor of exactly what they're facing. But more importantly, it's just a great moment that humanizes all three of these guys, but also kind of put Quint on a different playing field where it's like, while the other two are kind of having a good time, Quint is like, no, you guys can't joke around about it. This is a genuine threat.
Well, that scene is interesting. Yes, what really sets this movie apart from the opening scene from the perspective, this actually really the scene I'm talking about, the beach scene, demonstrates how much of a threat this shark really is without even really seeing it. It establishes if it didn't establish before, this is the movie where it's like, this isn't just a shark movie, this is a straight up horror film. Basically, you see all the conflict comes from this one scene. It's the music, cinematography, everything elevates it beyond it.
I mean, frankly, outside of the Hitchcock zoom, I don't think the scene is really that special. And I think we very much established the threat of the shark in the opening scene. And if anything, this scene is to really just kind of be like, okay, this is real. We need to deal with this. But the opening scene already establishes the threat.
Yes, it establishes, but it also establishes that basically has some socio-political commentary in there as well. All while like acting, cinematography, music, everything elevates that scene. I mean, in other words, yours is just a couple of guys sitting around getting drunk and telling things. Yeah, that's a deep one. Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta be honest, Jacob. I think that the 15-second rebuttal kind of put you in a watery grave, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, how am I supposed to compete with that?
Well, there's always Smiley, son of a, there's always blowing up the shark. There's always.
Well, yeah, but then there's like, oh, you see the shark, how fake the shark looks.
Okay. Anyway. Okay. So
we replaced it all with Gringotts.
So unless any of my fellow judges has a real case for why Jacob should get the point, I'm gonna weigh in. I'm gonna give the point to Tiki. Or any arguments here?
No.
Not necessarily.
Okay, then Tiki gets the point.
I'm
Tiki,
the winner, motherfucker. Even drunk, I can conquer you. Yes.
Okay, now.
Tonight on Drunk History.
I'm just channeling my inner Azula here.
Yeah. Okay,
More
now
like
I want to see Tiki on Drunk History talking
more
about
like
the
Rick
history of
Sands.
Splash Mountain.
Still more tear jerking
Oh,
than
you want to talk about Splash Mountain? I think we genuinely should have a Splash Mountain debate right here, right now. We have enough time. I'm the winner, but I think we should have a Splash Mountain debate. Bonus.
Still more tear jerking than Azula is.
all right, fine. Just let me cue up the. Okay, we're gonna relate to Amblin then.
This is just a bonus. This is just a bonus.
All right, fine. Well,
Okay.
did you have a question in mind?
Yes, yay or nay to the Splash Mountain?
All right, fine.
I say yay. Unless
Okay.
Jacob really wants yay.
Okay, who wants to fight the drunkard? I'm not doing it.
All right, I'll go with nay.
All right. We making this a speed round, I assume? Yeah, we'll make it a speed round.
Yes.
I think that while I would appreciate the Brer characters to be more contextualized in African American folklore history, that is a hard task considering just how bad Song of the South is as a piece of film. And so by that measure, who am I to argue with a really enthusiastic Tony Baxter? I think Princess and the Frog is a great IP that's going to connect a lot of bridges thematically between New Orleans Square, Frontierland, and Critter Country. I'm all for it.
As much as I would like to see like Princess and the Frog represented, it's what it is one of my new favorite movies. The purist in me thinks that yes, that it should do what you said. It should just be recontextualized, refurbished, brought into the main fold, like all the while educating people that yes, it has to have its roots in actual folklore, while obviously distancing itself from the problematic side of things. They can accomplish all that and more. They have shown to do that in the past. Keep the things the way they are.
I feel like even though, yes, I agree, I would love for the Brer characters to be legitimized, you would have to go out of your way to do that. You would have to do like new shorts, new feature film, all that stuff. That'd be a lot of work. And Song of the South is an incredibly problematic film. So I say Princess of the Frog is a good call.
So I'm trying to blank here. I mean, I can't really argue. I mean, okay, I got it.
Well, it still took a shorter time than the line for Splash Mountain.
Go ahead, Jacob.
I don't think it would actually be that much work at all. I mean, it doesn't even have to be necessarily in the shorts. It could be like there could be like plaques outside the main building, outside the main attraction. Refurbish the attraction, but keep the same heart and soul that it has before. I mean, what about Disney World? That there'd be no thematic connection there.
That is a good point about Disney World. I'll give you that.
Unky, where are you leaning in this ridiculous debate we're having now?
Well, regardless of my actual thoughts,
Based on the argument, but by all means.
yeah, I mean, based on the argument, I'm actually leaning a little Jacob.
Huh. Okay.
Sorry, I'm just reading Claudia has something here. Imagine the Proud Family or Lion King having a version of Splash Mountain or Black Panther. I gotta be
Proud
honest.
Family Splash Mountain would be batshit crazy, and we all know it.
It would be.
It wouldn't lend itself though. I mean, like I can imagine. I would love to see a ride based on Pride Rock.
Yeah, they would still be critters technically.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. Out of those choices, Proud Family would just be kind of crazy. I don't think anyone else would. Like,
I
hey,
would enjoy it. I would enjoy it.
okay,
I like the Proud Family. I just don't think it would lend itself to a ride like Splash Mountain.
no, I think you're.
They would lend themselves to Splash Mountain. I certainly don't think.
Here's the thing: if it ended up being the Proud Family would be more of like, hey, the Proud Family are going on a Disney ride. That would be your whole pitch for that.
I could see them
Sylvie
basically
and Credicoaster?
I could basically see them like doing Thunder Mountain in a way.
Here's the thing: I think out of all these, they would probably go with the Lion King. Honestly, I would love it if they made it Black Panther, but then a part of me would be like, okay, now there's over.
I think Black Panther is a much more legitimate thing than either.
Well, Black Panther does not fit in the area of the park.
That's what I'm saying. Like, no, here's the thing. I think it'd be cool, but I don't think it would.
It'd probably go to the Avengers campus.
Right, though.
I
Okay,
think
so
I think Lion King would be.
Speaking
cool.
of, just saying, so if Tiana's father is in this ride and Rhodey turns up somewhere in Avengers campus, we get Terrence Howard in one park and Don Cheadle in the other.
There you go.
Anyway, I'm voting with Jacob. I'm going for Jacob.
Okay. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for Princess and the Frog. I mean, I'd love to see what they do with that.
Good job, Jacob.
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
do I not get a vote in this?
Okay,
Would
good.
you like? Okay, what do you vote on this?
Were you not going to call me Dragon?
Well, this
Yeah,
is not really for any points or anything.
You never call anymore.
You didn't call Monkey in the last round. You're not
Oh, all
calling
right,
Monkey
Sandy,
in all
what's
this out.
your vote? What's your vote? Come on.
Ah. Well, now I just feel silly.
Yeah. This is why I didn't call on you.
I'm
Come on,
gonna.
Sandy, I want this to roughly be an hour and a half.
Are we talking about Disneyland or Disney World?
Oh, just forget it. Just forget it. Forget
All
it.
right. Okay, Dragon, just go ahead and lead us out. All right.
All right, folks. Next time we got a really special debate coming at you. So July, don't miss the debate we have coming at you. Then we got
a special topic.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be very special, folks. You do not want to miss it. Ideally, it could be really special. At the very least, it's gonna be special. We'll see how good it gets. Anyway, so,
That's all, folks.
yeah, but that's all we'll say on that. So take care, folks. Thanks.
And
very
that's
much.
when I met Bob Barker.
A lot of love for Claudie and Atomic Beast. Been a blast. See you next time, folks.
Good night, everybody.
Bumpy's mom. She's.
And he was eating